Great, great. So we will start. I present myself. So I'm Gaceem KAWTHER. I am an EFL teacher, which stands for English Foreign Language. I teach General English, ESP. For ESP, it means English for specific purposes. It means English for medicine or business English, English for tourism, or English for engineering, and so on. And I also teach test preparations, which are IELTS, TOEIC, and TOEFL. I'm also a student. I'm about to graduate this year, and I'm a translation student, Arabic, English, Arabic. And I also have an Instagram where sometimes I post some learning English tips, learning some speaking tips, some grammar, and so on. So today we're going to see a presentation about the new course that we will start with the Sigma Academy, an online English course, a beginner level. We're going to see what we are going to study in this course, but mainly today we're going to see how we learn English, why learn English, what's the best way to learn English. Okay? So I would like to start by a question. If you are courageous to speak, I would love that. But you can just write your answers, okay? Why learning English is important nowadays? Why do you think that learning English is important at this period? Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. You either speak or write. I will see here. Are you here, guys? Yes. So Safa, you told us it's a worldwide language. Safa, can you speak? Instead of writing, can you speak? Can you be so courageous to speak or no? The others, what do you think?
Hello.
Ah, Safa, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm too
Hello.
in English.
No problem. Actually, that's why you want to take an English course, isn't it?
Yes, yes, of course. Yes, yes. I would like to
Well,
recite.
if you can speak in English, it would be great, but you can express yourself the way you want. So why do you think that English is important nowadays?
Yes, as I said, it's a worldwide language. Like we use it everywhere. I personally, I need it every time in applications when I travel. So I think it's now it's we are obliged to learn English.
Yeah, thank you. And actually, your English was good.
It was good one time.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Safa, for being that courageous, and thank you for giving me your answer. Okay, let's see the others. Let's see the others. So he did said memshos. Memshos for horrible in speaking. Well, it is more information are in English. Widad, can you be so courageous as Safa to speak or no? Can you do it or not? Because you said that more information are in English. I think you want to say that you will find more of like documents and articles in English. That's what you want to say. That's it. Great. Thank you so much. Yeah, so you were right. Learning English is a worldwide language. Now, let's say it's the common language between all people around the world. And as you said, also for the professional side, articles are in English, internships are in English, trainings in English. If you want to learn more, you need the language to learn more in any field or any domain. But also it's for entertainment. Great movies, series, songs, books are in English. So that's why. Now I have another question for you, which is how can I or can you develop your English? Or another way to say things, what should you do to develop your English? I'm waiting for your answers. You either write or speak, okay? Practice. So Safa said practice. Can you repeat, please? Of course. So I asked you, I have a question for you. How can you develop your English? Or in other words, what should you do to develop your English? And Sava said practice. Yes, indeed. The others, what do you think? I'm waiting for your answers. So for you, what is it? What is the secret to develop English? What should you do? Safa, do you have any other ways? You said practice, and what else? I have, okay, yes. Can you hear us now? Are you hearing us now? Breathe, are you? Yes, great. So yeah, the others. What's the way or what you should do to develop your songs, films, novels? It means listening, yes, and reading, yes. The others. Okay, great. So yes, Safa, thank you. You said practice, songs, films, and novels. Yes, indeed. They help you to learn the language. And actually, that's what we're going to see today. Before we talk about the training itself and what are you going to see in our course, we're going to talk about learning English in general. Okay, the first thing that you should know is, yeah, Buhida saying studying. Yes, can you explain more? What do you mean by studying? Yeah, so you said, yeah, studying. What do you mean exactly by studying? Like this, yes? You mean taking a course? Yes, of course. Taking a course helps you a lot and it will show you and guide you a lot. Yes, indeed. So the first thing you should know that there is no magic way or no secret to learn a language. So I cannot tell you, hey guys, today I will bring you the secret of learning a language. If you do this, you will get it 100%. Actually, there is no way to learn English. You need and you have to work at it a lot. But there is some tips, there is some techniques that if you follow, it will help you more. And actually, that's what we are going to see now. Starting by the first thing, when you want to learn a language, the first thing to do is find your motivation. What do I mean by finding your motivation? So I always compare learning a language to practicing sports. I always do that. Okay. So what are the similarities between these two things? Generally, when you practice sports, you have a goal. You want to lose weight, isn't it? So when you practice sports, and sometimes it's very good, you are motivated, but sometimes you are so tired to do that. But once you remember and say, yes, I'm not really in good mood today, or I don't have the energy to practice sports today, but I want to lose weight. And when you remember that you really want to lose weight, it will motivate you to get up and start doing your exercise of the day. It's the same thing actually for learning a language with learning English. You will ask yourself, you as a person, why you want to learn the language. Sometimes you need it for work, sometimes you need it for just you travel a lot and you cannot communicate with people. Maybe you are such a bookish person and you want to have access to more books. Maybe you just want to understand native people when they speak, when you watch a movie, and so on. So each person has a specific motivation for him or herself, okay? Once you find your motivation, because at the beginning when we start a course, it's a new thing, okay? It's a new thing for us. So you will be so excited and so motivated, and you are like, okay, I can do it, and so on. But the more the time goes, the more you lose this motivation, okay? So you need to remind yourself why you want to learn English. This is the first thing. You should ask yourself why I want to learn English, okay? The second thing, you will set a learning goal. It means like here, one of you said to learn English, studying, taking a course like this one. And of course, when you take a course, you are waiting for a result at the end of the day. Okay, so this is it. When you try to learn English, try to set a goal. For example, you say, for this month, I will learn how to talk about myself. It means you're going to learn how to present yourself, the good expressions, the grammar that you will use, the tenses, etc. You should set your goals. So by setting your goal, it's still in the motivation. So you have a goal to go. Like when you learn just for learning, it's not that fun. But when you know that I learn because I want to reach something, it will motivate you every time. Okay? The second thing, know your level. Well, the third thing, know your level to improve your level. What do I mean by that? ما تقدرش تروح تتعلم عفسة وانت ما تعرفش ميم با وين راك ناقص. Isn't it? So, you should first of all know what are your weaknesses. وين راهم لي بوين اللي راكم ناقصين فيهم. واش تعرف تدير واش ما تعرفش تدير. Or what can you speak or what you cannot speak. What do you know about the language and what you don't know about the language. Once you know what you don't know, you know how to develop it. You know on what skill you will work more. And talking about skills, we will talk about them later. Okay? And the fourth thing, recognize that learning English isn't a straight line. So students كي يبداو يقراو عندهم هذيك تاع يحبوا يتعلموا everything at once. Everything from the first level. So they will speak like a native person just by studying for 1 month. And actually, it doesn't work like that. Okay, you should know that sometimes also you can be so productive, but sometimes you lose that. Sometimes you learn a lot, sometimes you struggle. And it's normal. You should recognize that this is normal. It's a new language for you, especially for beginner students, okay? I'm talking about beginner students because the course that we are going to start, it's a beginner course, okay? We're going to start from the bottom. It means from the first one, beginner level. Then we move on to the other ones, okay? We have beginner level, then elementary, then pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate, and then advanced. Okay. Also, we have focus on communication first. What do I mean by focusing on communication first? When we learn something, just try to learn how to pronounce it and how to use it without caring so much about the rule behind it. I'm not saying don't care at all. It's really important to know the grammatical rules, the spelling, the structures are really important. But at first, try just to get the communication, okay? Learn how to speak and then move to the others. It means if I tell you, for example, we use the present simple to talk about habits, just learn how to use the present simple to talk about habits, okay? Don't think or don't ask why, or don't, how to say that? Like, don't try to ask about, okay, نستعملوها في الروتين ونستعملوها في وش again. Take the first information, okay? Get it, know how to speak it, and then move to the rule or the structure behind it. Also, ask a lot of questions. And here, when I say ask a lot of questions, I'm not asking about a teacher. Well, of course, ask questions to your teacher. It means when you are in an English course, ask as many questions as you want. But here, I'm not talking about you asking the teacher, but I'm talking about you asking yourself. What do I mean by you asking yourself? For example, you are outside, you go to buy some bread. In your mind, you say, how do we say this in English? So you ask yourself, by asking yourself how we do this, what you're going to do, directly, you will take your phone, go to the internet and search for it. Use the dictionary. Ask yourself always, for example, you say, how do we call this action in English? Okay, I don't know, any daily activity you do it in your day, try to ask yourself a question about it. This attitude will help you to learn a lot of vocabulary, to learn a lot of questions. I don't know, you're sitting in your living room and you say, how do we call fauteuil en anglais? And you will just by the how, it will make you curious and you will go and you will search for it. And by searching, you will learn a lot of vocabulary, a lot of expressions. Okay? Also, we have don't translate everything. And this is the first mistake that EFL students do, is to translate. For example, stylo, a pen, قرعة, a bottle. It means you will connect words to a translation in your mind. وهنا the first mistake اللي طيحوا فيه that you will speak in a language, it means Arabic or French or any other language in your mind, then you will translate to speak English. And here you will really give a poor English because you at first you didn't learn in the language. Arabic and English or French and English, not the same structure, not the same languages. So you will not really produce a good English. So what I ask you to do, for example, when you say a bottle, don't connect it to a word or translation in your mind, but connect it to an image. So you take it and say, this is a bottle. For example, I say to run. Instead of saying to run, no, do the action. So in your mind, what are you going to do? You're going to connect the word to an action, or the word to a feeling, or a word to an image, not to a translation. Okay? And then we have also technology is your best friend, use it. As I talked about the point of ask a lot of questions, you ask how, you just grab your phone and Google it. And now I think that everyone has internet, like we all have access to internet, and technology is my or your best friend. Use it to learn anything actually, not only English, okay? We have YouTube, we have the podcasts, we have Netflix also, will help you a lot to learn the language. Music, like for YouTube, you will find a lot of vlogs of American YouTubers, British YouTubers, well, just English speaking YouTubers. where you're going to see native people using the language in their daily life. And this is the best source for you. Podcasts also. There is a lot of podcasts that to teach you English. For example, BBC Learning English. It's the YouTube channel. And there is also a podcast about it. We have also movies. When you watch a movie with the subtitles, not in French or in Arabic, but subtitles in English. So you are going to see something and so on. And then you should know something, being consistent and realistic. As I compared before learning language to practicing sports, let's say, for example, we want to practice sports to have this beautiful shaped body for the summer, for either going to the beach or going to a marriage, and you will fit in your dresses or in your suit. You should be consistent. It means practicing sports every day. And it's the same thing about learning a language. If you want to master the language, if you want to be fluent, if you want to speak like a native speaker, you should be consistent. It means, and you should work daily. I prefer that every day you learn one word instead of like once a week you will learn 15 words. Working every day is really, really the key to develop more. Okay? And finally, we have practice, practice, practice. As the saying is, practice makes perfect. The more you practice, when I say practice, it's not just reading without you listening to yourself. I don't know if you have seen on Facebook a meme of like about learning a language or speaking English. When I speak English with myself, I'm a big, dinosaur, that powerful dinosaur. However, when I speak it with people, when I speak up in English, I just look like the dinosaur at Google كما تكونش the internet. Okay, so try to learn the language and try to speak English. ديجا لازم تعرفوا when you speak Arabic, when you speak French, when you speak English ما عندناش the same voice. ديجا كي تبدا تهدر English, when you hear yourself, it will be weird to your ears. You say, who is this? I don't recognize this person. But the more you speak, the more you will enjoy your voice. The more you will not be shy. Like, for example, Safa, she told me, I'm so bad at speaking. But when she spoke, you did really good, actually. It was good. No mistakes. You expressed yourself. I got it. I understand you. That's good. And the second thing, when you speak up, you will know which sounds you have difficulties to produce. كما قلنا مقبلات, know your level, to develop your level, know your weakness, to know what to work on. So, for example, say I have this problem with the sound, so I need to practice it more. This is the first thing. The second thing, when I say practice, 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 I always receive this answer, but miss, I don't have a person to practice with. معاه من نحن نهضر أنجلي. Mon entourage ما عنديش معاه من نهضر English. I will tell you something. You have yourself, and that's enough. Speak to yourself. It's good, by the way, okay? Speak to yourself. Look at the mirror, speak to yourself. Do anything in your life and speak to yourself. And to be honest, this is how I learned learning English. When I was 13, 14, this is how I started speaking or learning the language. I just didn't know a person to practice with. And I was like always speaking to myself like a crazy person, but it got a result. Okay? So far, is it clear for everyone? You just write. I will see if you were following, if I wasn't that fast, if you didn't get something. I will try to explain it. Okay, great. Great, very clear for Safa. For the others, is it clear for you? The others, is it good for you? Yes, good. Perfect. Clear things. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, before also we move and talk about or present our course and telling you what are you going to see and what are you going to find, I will talk about one thing. The four skills, okay? The four skills when we learn a language or when we learn English. We have what we call receptive skills and what we call productive skills. For the receptive skills, we have reading and listening. Here, the student will receive the language, okay? And here, like we are testing the understanding of the students. And generally, those are the two first skills that EFL students develop. تلقى بزاف ستودنت يقول لك انا نفهم لونجلي راكي تهضري اني نفهمك. It's the case now. All of you is understanding. I'm speaking in English. You get me. There is no problem. But I have a problem in writing, in speaking, in producing the language. And this is normal. Okay, this is normal. باسكو معروفين باللي we develop first our receptive skills, then we go to our productive skills. Okay? So far, everything is clear? Great, I'm not that clear. Thanks. Yes. Do you have any questions so far? Maybe I will ask you actually. I will ask you a question. Have you ever tried to learn English? If yes, what was your method? Many times. Okay. And what was your method? What were you doing? And did you used to do any of the mentioned things? What you don't understand? The question is, est-ce que vous avez déjà essayé d'apprendre l'anglais? Est-ce que si انت مقبل تتعلمي سي وي واش من لي ميثود اللي كنتي ديريهم؟ So Safa, you know receptive skills. It means you either read or listen. I did my learning or reading and listening. Yes. Listening. But in writing, I have a rigid language. Yeah, the others. Yeah, that's what I told you. I told you that generally students develop the receptive skills before the productive skills. Once they develop the receptive skills, يستغنوا. And you can, like, you're always struggling with writing and speaking, with the producing the language. The others. Okay, great. So now we're going to move and talk about the course that we're going to launch with the Sigma Academy, inshallah. And I'm going to talk about what are we going to see in this course and what is it exactly. So it's an online English course, okay, obviously. As I told you, we'll start from the beginning, means beginner level, and then we move on. I'm going to talk mainly about this level and what are we going to see and how is it going to be. So for this level, you should know that it's a 30 hours course. We are going to study every Monday. We didn't I guess we didn't set not the time, but the timing. If we're going to study 3 hours or 2 hours or 2 hours and 30 minutes, all the information will be communicated in the upcoming days. Well, here, as I told you before, this course will have many levels, starting by beginner, ending by advanced, passing by elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, and upper intermediate. Okay? And each level, you will have some grammar to learn, some speaking to learn, some pronunciation, and so on. Like, for example, for the beginner level, at the end of the course, you will be able to talk about yourself. This is it. The beginner level, it concentrates on talking about yourself, like, for example, how to present yourself, giving your name, giving your age, giving your nationality, talking about your job, giving, like, presenting yourself in real life, presenting yourself on the phone. We're going to see also how to talk about people in your life, so how to talk about your family, your friends, how to describe them. We're going to see a lot of adjectives. We're going to talk also about daily activities and describe your house, or talking about past events. So this is the grammar that, the vocabulary expressions that we're going to see. We're going to see how native speakers use the language. It means how native speakers present themselves. What is the language that you use? What's the slang they use? And for the grammar, it will be mainly about present simple, past simple, present continuous, past continuous. You will keep it simple because it's a beginner level, okay? You should go easy on yourself. As I told you before, don't learn everything at once, step by step. And that's why there is a lot of levels from beginner to advanced level, okay? The other thing, during our course, we're going to learn in a really fun way, because I love to teach with music, movies, games also. You can just go to my Instagram. It's English with KAWTHER, and you will see a lot of activities that I do with my students. I love music, and I see that music is one of the great sources of learning a language. I love movies also, and I always share this with my students. YouTube, also vlogs, because like how to say, in a movie, the language is studied. But in a vlog, it's really natural, spontaneous. We're going to see a native person speaking in a daily life. So we're going to learn through that. I love also to use games. I try to make an interactive session, not a boring one, especially it's an evening class, even for morning classes, but especially evening classes. You will have a long day, and then you will have a course. So I always try to make it fun for my students. We learn from each other a lot, and I love when my students ask a lot, make research, and learn a lot. Okay, so I guess that's it about the course. Do you have any questions? It's your chance to ask any question, and I will try to answer them one by one.